What is going on, YouTube? Just getting started. We got the Tiki Talk Live here, answering questions. You know the drill. Product idea that has 500 plus monthly searches and zero product for at low CPC. Is it worth it? If it has zero searches, then no. If there's no products for it, probably not. Amazon is a search-based platform. If people aren't searching for it, they're not buying it. I started a product, it failed all the way. Well, what did you do to make the product fail? AMA. It has 500 searches. That's really low search volume. You would want to have 10,000 search volume across all keywords, or else you're going to have a tough go marketing it. And did you learn anything from it? AMA? That's the big thing right there, the big key. It was something too many people were selling. Well, yeah, maybe you launched in a bad product market. You want to make sure that the competition isn't overly established. It's an honest mistake, but well, the main keyword has 20K. It just has a differentiator. Okay, well, if the main keyword has 20K, that's a different prod. As long as it meets all the other product criteria, I think that's solid. Also, let's go Alex. Alex out here always carrying the TikTok likes. I was new and they were selling 40K plus units a month of the same thing. Yeah, you should never base it on what one seller is doing. You want to base it on how the entire market is. Well, I have a product that I want to launch but not secured my trademark at USPTO. So how do I list on Amazon? Same way as if you had a trademark. As long as you have your serial number, you can apply for brand registry. I prefer to just have 1 to 5 sellers for the product which I want to sell. Canadian, you probably do a different business model. You're not going to find a market where there's only 1 to 5 sellers. Like if you want to sell a water bottle, there's hundreds of water bottle sellers. I'm assuming you mean I'm assuming you do like arbitrage or wholesale, which is not what I do. Could I get some advice and join the Discord? I want to get help with what items I should sell and how. I don't have a Discord. I only have a private Facebook group, but that's only for my mentorship students. You can ask questions on this live. I have lots of TikTok videos, but in terms of having my direct help, that's only for students. Are you in the pet niche or have you before in your thoughts? I like the pet niche. Yeah, we have a couple pet products. What's up, Luke? What's good, sheep? Good to see you. I don't, so I chose generic products. Can I change it or do I have to wait? I don't have serial number. You can go from generic to your brand name. Amazon's going to give you a hard time about it, but you definitely can do it. I've done it multiple times, so yeah, you could. Or wait, why don't you have a serial number? How long ago did you file for your trademark? You should get your serial number instantly after filing. Do you have a VA? Yeah. On vacation right now. Sorry for not being here the past days. Don't be sorry, brother. Enjoy your vacation. Hope it's a good one. Is it still possible to make 6 or 7 figures on Amazon? Yes. I haven't filed because I want to see if my product got accepted to Amazon. Well, like I said, it's not about being accepted. You just create a listing, and assuming it's not like a toy or baby product, then you won't have to have, or supplement, consumable, topical, then you will be able to list it without any issues for the most part. It wasn't a bad move. Just you could create a mock listing and then use that to get your trademark. Luke, my CTR is at 1.5%, but my conversion is still low. Would you still change main image? For you, probably getting more reviews sheep. That's a really good conversion, or excuse me, a click-through rate. You could try to optimize it, but definitely optimize like your infographics, your title. Make sure you have A+ content, and then try to push for some more reviews. What is your conversion rate right now? Let's go. All right, I think I need to go change. I'm like squinting to read these comments. Hold on. I'll be back. I just can't read the TikTok comments with a white jersey. So give me 30 seconds and I shall be back. Yeah, sorry. That was just going to be annoying for a whole live. Much better. How important is video? Is it a good idea to have 3D video or actual product video? Probably an actual product video. It can help. According to Amazon, can help increase your conversion by up to 10%, or excuse me, 8%. It's not necessarily going to be a make or break. There's a lot more important things. My CVR is bad. 4% already optimized everything. Title, bullet, infographics. Yeah, that is pretty low. I mean, I would push for more reviews. Should we run video ads if we have it made? Not if your sponsored product ads aren't fully optimized first. Video ads aren't going to be like a make or break to your account. They're used in a strategy, but they're not. It's not like its own strategy, if that makes sense. Sponsored product ads are going to be the most important when you're starting and scaling. Like I wouldn't even touch video ads until I was doing like 10K a month and my sponsored product ads were profitable. Also, y'all, I posted some gem videos today. Last video, I announced the new trademark service for the AMZ Masterclass. If y'all haven't already checked that out, go check it out. Launched 2 new services in the last week. Trademark service and sourcing service. Last video, a little win from the students. One of my students saved 6K on shipping with the AMZ Masterclass freight forwarder. Third to last and fourth to last video, both going over how to set up your Amazon PPC ads. So check those out too. I guess it doesn't surprise me because I didn't know how to run ads before, but it's very interesting to see all this like conflicting information on PPC ads, and they're not all about the right strategy. I'm going to be doing an interview soon about PPC. It's not about PPC ads being worth it. You have to do PPC ads AMA. I have a lot of videos on how to set them up. But what most people get wrong about PPC ads is that they're not the solution to a low conversion problem. No, I don't have it up anymore. I recorded a video today I would show you guys on the whiteboard, but I recorded a different video, so the whiteboard doesn't have that information. But I'm going to get to everyone's question. But imagine you have a $20 product, just to keep the numbers simple. Hopefully this all makes sense and you guys can follow along. But let's say you have a $20 product and you're spending $1 per cost for your cost per click. So 100 clicks at a 5% conversion rate would be $100 in sales. 5 sales, 5% conversion, 100 clicks, right? Everyone with me still? So that would be $100 in spend for 100 sales. Now, if you made no optimizations to your campaign, you did nothing about your price, but you optimized your listing to increase your conversion rate, and you went from 5% to 20%, now those same 100 clicks at $1 cost per click, $100, 20% conversion, that would be 20 sales with those 100 clicks. That would be $100 in spend divided by $400 in sales this time. And instead of 100% ACoS, where you would be likely losing money on ads, it would be a 25% ACoS, where you're likely making money on ads. Question, brother, I was wondering, is buying 20 to 50 units of a product the best way to start? Not for private label, 100 to 300. What's the minimum margin percent you will take profit when selling on Amazon? 30% on my first order before ads. As I establish the product more, we scale our margins. Or should I go with 500 because what if the product booms? I don't have enough stock. Don't worry about that. You want to start with a test run order first, YSR. Also, sorry if I'm like low, sound monotone. I think I'm always monotone, but I am sick, so I don't have a lot of pep in my step right now. By the way, my 3D model should be done this week, hoping that will also improve conversion. You also want to look at your main image in the sense of like if you sell a whiteboard sheep, you don't want to just have a plain whiteboard as your main image. Maybe add some writing on the whiteboard, add your bonus items, test different angles. There's a lot of different things. And for you, bro, I would go look at all the sellers who are performing well in your market and kind of start, I wouldn't say copy them because you still want to be unique, but take inspiration from them. There's probably elements in their listing, their reviews, things like that that they're doing that you're not. So that would be a good framework for you to have. What are the most profitable products? All products are profitable, Ben. Can be profitable, I should say. There's not one that is the most profitable. The reason I want to change my main image is because I don't showcase the hidden compartments. Yeah, you should definitely show that. You want to show all the important aspects. What if I'm selling a product with no logo and it doesn't require private logo? Should I buy 10, 20 to 50? No. Logo has nothing to do with how many units you should order. 20 to 50. I mean, I want to get 20 reviews on my first test run order. So if you buy 20 units, you need to get 20 reviews. You have no units to sell. Even 50, you only have 30 units to sell. It's not enough data to see if a product is worth reordering. 100 to 300, 200 is my sweet spot. But my competitors don't showcase them either, so am I still doing the right thing? I mean, yes, because you always want to test things, sheep. There's not a right thing when it comes to like advertising, which is why you're making these optimizations. It's test, collect data, optimize, repeat. Test, collect data, optimize, repeat. It's a constant cycle. You make a change, you see how the data performs, just like with your click-through rate. So you've dialed in click-through rate, sheep, but you haven't dialed in conversion. And so you're going to continue to go through this cycle until you find the thing that helps with your conversion, if that makes sense. So you're doing all the right things, but there's not a right thing. You feel me? Also, everybody get off the live right now and go show some love to the last video that I posted, new service that I announced to the students. What's the best to break into? Like, I'm not even sure what to get into. That's also not really like the question to ask, Ben. You just look for products with good product markets. A lot of the products that I sell that do really well are products that I wouldn't think that I would have sold, but the markets look good. Do you recommend generic products or brands? Well, I take generic products and I brand them as my own. I don't sell existing brand name products like Nike or Adidas or anything like that. Yeah, for example, I mirrored my main image for a few days and didn't go well, which was weird. It was the same angle as my competitors. Yeah, sometimes it won't work for your listing, what works for theirs. Sometimes it does. So you always want to test, like I was saying. I'm constantly testing, and the faster you can do these tests, the faster that you can like pivot and collect the data. Because if it takes you like a week to make or 2 weeks to make an optimization, it's going to be slower for you to get the desired results that you want. So you definitely want to. Speed answers all problems in the market. Yeah, right now just going through all the listings, no matter how much they sell, just to see what I can improve. That's the way to do it. Might find if I don't have a GTN exemption or UPC code, but sent Amazon warehouse with an FNSKU. Well, how did you create your listing? You don't put your GTIN number on your box or your UPC code. You use it to create a listing, and then when you create a listing, you can print your Amazon item labels, which would be your Amazon FNSKU barcode. Also, I realize I say that wrong. It's technically FNSKU, but I call it FNSKU. How did you create your listing, Musa? You needed some kind of product ID to make your listing, unless you got a GTIN exemption. If you didn't use anything, then you got a GTIN exemption. Because you need one of them to, like I said, actually create the listing. But yeah, your FNSKU is what you put on the product packaging. That's how Amazon scans in your inventory and all of that. Let's go. Thank you for 10K likes. Shout out to Alex. I know he carried a lot of those likes. Thank you for everybody liking who's in the live. Farbin asking questions. Could be, I just don't remember using any. Yeah, then you might have gotten an exemption, Musa. If you have a listing up, you're good to go. My product manager, it says my GTN has been set to EIN. I wouldn't worry about it, Pranav. I think you're good, bro. I think you are good as long as there's no errors with your listing. I'll be crushing it as soon as I dial conversion, just like my CTR. It used to be at 0.3%. That's what it's about, sheep. You're collecting data, you're basing it on numbers. You're not just kind of like blindly making changes and hoping for the best. That's what it takes to be a successful Amazon seller. Pretty much doing exactly what you're doing. So the product packaging needs an FNSKU and UPC label, not UPC, just an FNSKU. Use the UPC or GTIN or EAN to create your listing. You do private label? Yes. Is $220 too high cost per click for an exact match? It is pretty high. Kind of hoped it would be a faster process though. I mean, you're doing better than most sheep. Most people would have been in your position at that 0.3 CTR, made no optimizations, and then tried to blame Amazon. But you see the feedback loop that you're making the optimizations and you're seeing improvements. I do private label too. Been doing it for 11 years now. LLL, good stuff. Nice, 5-1. That's longer than I've been doing it. What about compliance certificates? Not every product needs a compliance certificate. Thought you did wholesale. No, I wouldn't touch wholesale with a 10-foot pole. It's not for me. It's the more popular business model. People like it more because it's easier to sell online, but you doing it 11 years, you see the game. Wholesale is the worst. Private label is the way. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you've been in the game, like I said, longer than me. So you see owning the brand, owning the IP beats wholesale 10 times out of 10. But yeah, back to the compliance certificates. Not every product needs a compliance certificate. And for things like toys, baby products, your manufacturer can do it. Sorry, Alex. I know Alex does wholesale, but Alex, you're switching to private label, so I'm allowed to say that. I think one thing I'm going to struggle on is ads on Amazon. I've learned really well on everything else. It's all right, bro. I struggled with ads in the beginning too. Now I consider myself best at it because I invested the most time and money into learning it. About changing the main image, should I just make improvements to my current main image? Yeah, especially since you saw an increase in your CTR. Do you guys hear my low energy right now? I'm sorry, I despise being sick. It's not the business. I'm not even that sick, thank God, but I feel it. The cost per click for PPC is not available for Canada. Do you have another way, please? Create a mock listing. Go as if you're going to create a campaign and then plug the keywords into your campaign manager, Iman. What up, Shazad in the YT chat? Or to try to create a whole new angle? No, I would just improve what you have. Keep up the good work, Habibi. You too, brother. Appreciate you. Is it possible to be profitable without ads? Heard a few people talk about it on TikTok. Remember when I said all information is not created equal? That's the information that's not created equal. You have to run ads on Amazon. Even people who I know who drive, like Goalie is a great example. I'm pretty sure Goalie was on Oprah. Goalie has had national coverage. Goalie is the Goliath of their category. Goalie still runs Amazon ads. I'm sure all of you have seen Goalie on TikTok. Goalie crushes it on TikTok Shop. It's probably one of the top products and brands on TikTok Shop. Shazad on the YT chat says, brother, help me. I need money for starting my business. I'm poor. I have full education, but degree just paper. Bro, I'm not respectfully, I'm not the Bank of Egypt or a non-profit. So nobody's just going to hand you money, brother. If only it was that easy. If it was that easy, I would just go ask everybody for money and I'd be a billionaire. You got to hustle, bro. I was broke too when I was trying to start my business. Go get your side hustle on. Go mow some lawns. Go yard. Go to garage and yard sales and go flip those products on eBay. Go window wash. Go work at a restaurant, being a busboy, cleaning, washing dishes. Life's not going to just hand you lemons, bro. I'm sorry, life's not going to just hand you lemonade. You got to take those lemons and make lemonade. And I don't say that to be harsh, bro. Like I said, I was broke when I started my business. I didn't have money to start my business, so I didn't go and begging people for money. I mean, yeah, bro. Also, man, keep your chin up. You shouldn't be begging people for money on the internet. I'm trying to give you good advice, but it's Yeah, nobody's gonna just hand you money, bro. Only people who get a handout from me is my mother and my lady. My lady has one of my Amexes. She's allowed to spend whatever she wants. My mom gets money from me every month. If you're not those two people, sorry. Bro, Shazad, like I said, I gave you some advice, bro. If you're gonna keep begging in the chat, I'm just gonna block you, bro. Nobody wants to see that. What's some good business credit card to start with, and when should I apply? That's like more of a personal thing. I can tell you the cards that I use, but like I use Capital One, Venture X, and then I have the rest are all American Express. Would you suggest FBM to scale faster? You're not going to scale faster with FBM. You're going to scale faster with FBA. So no, I wouldn't recommend FBM. Sheep says, gotta hustle, man. Worked at a restaurant for 70 hours a week since I was 14, still doing it. That's what I'm saying, man. We'll call it empathy for people who are in tough positions. I was in a tough position once. A lot of people who are successful now that I know were in tough positions once, but life's not this handout thing. Nobody's gonna hand you your success. You have to want it bad enough for you, for yourself. Like almost even think of like a server at a restaurant. Bro, I mean, Shazad, I warned you, brother. I tried to give you advice, but I know plenty. I'll say this last thing. I know plenty of people who are in Pakistan who crush it, and that's because they're not. They actually make more money than people who are here in the States. Some of my employees, actually. But yeah, not a single one of them ever begged or anything like that. They hustled, bro. Life's not gonna just hand you stuff. So I'm gonna put you on a timeout for 24 hours. Sorry, guys. That was a YouTube comment. Did you see Amazon's Q2 earnings? No, I didn't. What's some good? I answered that already. Just made my first order on Alibaba. How do you find what to sell? Wait, what? Just made my first order. How do you find what to sell? Didn't you already find what to sell if you placed your first order? But I use a very specific product criteria. Would you recommend doing a product if it's supposed, but a lot of sales a month? What do you mean supposed? I base all the products that I launch on Amazon based on a very strict product criteria. If it meets that criteria, sweet. If it doesn't meet that criteria, then no. Were you using Helium 10 when you first started? I first started using Jungle Scout, then I switched to Helium 10. I meant FBM because you get the payments quicker, FBA takes long. You're still not going to scale as fast with FBM drip. You also won't convert as well with FBM. You got to respect the money before trying to make a lot of it. 100% sheep. It's a game, right? It's like, I think it's funny when people think like, oh, I'll be a good person once I have money. Or, oh, I'll do this once I have money. Like maybe if it has to do with paying for stuff, like, oh, actually, no, I still don't believe that. Like, oh, I'll start paying for, some people's lunch when I get money. Like if you can't respect the game before you get into that position, what makes you think you're going to respect the game after you do? Like if you're just a kind-hearted person, I've seen people who give their last dollar for other people. Those people, if they were rich, are going to help people. But then if you're selfish or you're, arrogant or all these things, money only amplifies who you are. And you have to respect the game. You have to value the thing that you're getting. Like I'm never going to do this, but like if I gave every single person who followed me my mentorship program, less than 5% of them, less than honestly 1% of them would take action on it. But the people who join my program, because they paid for the program, they respect the game, they respect their money, and they're not going to let their hard-earned money go to waste. So they're way more likely to actually take action on it. And I know this, and I say this as a fact because I do these lives for free every day, and maybe 1% of people are actually taking action. Now, because I go live all the time, there's a few more action takers who are like the regulars, Musa, Sheep, Airstick, Alex, Iman. I see y'all in the lives all the time, and it's like, okay, I know you guys are taking action, but I'm talking about 99% of the people who come and see my live, they'll watch it for a week, they'll watch it for one time. Those people, 99% aren't taking action because they don't respect the game. Everybody wants the easy route in life. Life is not about the easy route. What part of life, whoever told you that life was supposed to be easy? Having a good relationship isn't easy. Having a good marriage isn't easy. Having a successful business isn't easy. Even this is what the internet did, was they portrayed life to what it actually is not. You see a 21-year-old rolling around in a Lamborghini trying to sell you something. So of course he's going to be like, spewing a bunch of nonsense because that's the stuff that gets the most views. Like, guys, I understand the game. If I made different content, if I made more flashy content, if I made more, what would you call it? Like clickbaity content that didn't actually get value, I would triple my following. But that's not what's actually going to help people. That's not what's going to get people to the game or to the dance. And it's going to make a lot more people fail. How many hours did you work on your Amazon business when coming up? Bro, I lived, breathed, and slept Amazon. I would be so excited to go to bed early so that I could wake up and work on my Amazon business. I was obsessed. Now, I wasn't putting in like 8-hour days, but every day before work, I would work on the Amazon business. Every day after work, I would work on the Amazon business. I wanted to stay up late working on it. I wanted to go to bed, or stay up late working on it. I wanted to wake up to work on it. I was obsessed. Be obsessed or be average. Too many people are like, and not you, Musa, but like too many people want to think, oh, I'm just going to list a product on Amazon and I'm going to be as successful as these guys that I see on the internet. Wrong. Look at Sheep. Look at what Sheep's doing. Sheep's hustling. Sheep's going in. He didn't expect, oh, I'm just going to launch this product and I'm going to be rich. Yeah, maybe he had some different expectations, but he's like, okay, I got to test. I'm going to optimize. I'm going to repeat. And he's constantly making optimizations. He's constantly trying to figure out everything in his power ethically to make his business work. That's the game. How many sellers usually scale? If I make $200 profit my first month, do I make 400, 800, 16? It's not going to double every month, no, but I mean, you scale by increasing your revenue, increasing your organic rank, increasing your conversion. YSR, if you're still in the live, bro, just ask the question on here. Yeah, man, it's not easy, bro. When I got my job at the restaurant, I was shaking every day because of the nerves, because I was a real introvert and had social anxiety. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm an introvert too, man. Brother, I did report the hijackers multiple times, but it got rejected. What should I write? To get a slam dunk in this, Sadat, I don't have registered trademark, it's pending. To get a slam dunk in this, I would order that competitor's product, show Amazon brand registry that it's a counterfeit, and tell them that it's negatively affecting your brand. That's like been a surefire way for me to get them off. And then you can just return it once they're off your listing so it doesn't affect your return rate. Our exact same thing, you can't see any difference. I'm not suggesting this, but allegedly, if you ordered a product, I'm not suggesting this, but allegedly, if you ordered a product that didn't look different, then you can just use that and use the order number from the product that is a hijacker. Allegedly, is it white label? Is what white label? Oh, you're talking about him. Do you believe in not taking advice from people that haven't done it before? Everyone can have some wisdom. Yeah, I do believe in that, to be honest with you. I do think that like you listen to everybody with open ears, because there's been people who don't do Amazon that I've indirectly learned little gems here and there from. But in the sense of like somebody sitting there giving you advice on what you should do with your business, and they're not in a position that you want to be in, why are you taking advice from them? If I was cooking, YSR, just ask the question on here, bro. But if you were going and cooking, you're trying to figure out a recipe, are you going to take advice from somebody who's never made that dish before? Now, maybe if they have cooking experience, maybe if they have business experience, you could listen. But do you know how many people told me not to sell on Amazon? Do you know how many people told me that I was going to fail? Do you know how many people told me not to do this, not to do that? Where are all those people now? Can negative feedback deactivate your Amazon account? Like a negative review? No. Unless you're doing something malicious, then potentially. I really value advice of elderly people because they have regrets and will advise you to do everything you want. Man, I love talking to the OGs, not even just elderly people. Like we were in Idaho, and I'm there with all my buddies, you know, my buddies' cousins, and they're all my age or close to my age. Do you know who I like talking to the most? The parents, the OGs. Like there was one night, everybody was inside. I don't know, they were playing Uno or something like that. And I was out talking to, my best friend's dad and his brother, both 50 and 40 years old. We were outside talking for like 4 or 5 hours. People would like walk outside because all the coolers were outside. They'd sit. Even my buddy's cousin was like, I was going to come sit with you guys, but that conversation was too deep for me. There was someone sitting there with us. He gets up to go inside. He's like, that was too deep for me. I like listening to people because I used to, when I was in my younger years, I used to argue like a madman with my cousin, who at the time was late 30s, early 40s. Now he's late 40s. But when I first started my business, him and I would always argue like experience versus knowledge. This is when I was reading a book every single week, and I always wanted to be right. I think every young person thinks that they're right. Meanwhile, it's funny because all the OGs who are giving you advice, you realize when you get older, you're like, oh man, they were right about the advice that they gave. But I would be like, no, knowledge trumps experience. If I read more than these people, I know more than these people, blah, 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 blah. He's like, bro, I have more experience than you do in life, and that trumps all of the little books that you've read. I was like, no, no, no. And then I get older and I'm like, oh, wait, experience does trump knowledge. Like, let's say, I've been selling on Amazon for 6 years. Let's say that one of you read 1,000 books on how to sell on Amazon. Does your knowledge from your books have more value than my 6 years of experience, even if you've read 1,000 books on Amazon? No, it doesn't, because I've been in the game. I didn't understand that when I was younger. So I really do love talking to people who have more life experience than me, because I learn the most from them. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy having fun talking to the boys, people who are my age and stuff. But same thing, that same friend's dad, we were at a wedding in Vegas, and he was there too, because it was like his family's wedding, and everybody's partying, everybody's drinking, everybody's having a great time. Me and this dude sat on the side and for real talked the entire time of the reception. I don't care to talk about like nonsense stuff. Like, put me up on game. I bought 20 products worth 20 and I want to sell them on Amazon as a start. Should I have ordered more? Yes, 100 to 300 units. Dream car. Honestly, bro, I don't really have a dream car, because outside of like maybe multi-million-dollar cars, I could buy whatever supercar or whatever I wanted in cash. I don't care about cars. If I was ever going to buy one, Porsche 911. I almost bought one, but I talked myself out of it because I don't care about cars. Ask me my dream vacations. That stuff interests me more. My goal is to travel to almost every country by the end of my road. So yeah, I could care less about cars. Fair play. Do you have an old soul, or just like learning wisdom from other people? It's a little bit of both, Scully. Like, my lady will tell me, because I'm 26, my lady will tell me that I have the mindset of not even just mindset, but like how I want to live my life of a 40-year-old, 50-year-old. So a bit of an old soul. I'm very like traditional and just straight to the point with my thinking. All of you who have been in my lives often can probably tell that. I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you. I'm going to tell you what it is. So it's a little bit of an old soul, but also like I do just like getting wisdom from people who are older than me. Like, I'm 26. I go talk to someone who's 45. They have 20 more years of experience than I do. That's almost my entire lifetime. I was 6 when they were my age. Wait, no, I got that wrong. Sorry, that's not true. I wasn't. Wait. Yeah, I was 6 when they were my age. So I would rather like talk to people who are going to just teach me stuff. And same thing, like, just because of my life experience, like, I know that I also have something to bring to the table. You also have to add value to other people's life. Like, it's not a take. So like, same thing, my buddy's dad, they own a painting company, and they do like $10 million more than I do every single year, right? And I'm always want to listen more than I talk. Obviously, on these lives, I talk. But if you were with me in like a group setting, I don't care to tell anybody what I've done, that I sell on Amazon, the success that I've had, all of this. I simply, hold on, I got to do a puzzle to stay on live. I simply want to listen, absorb, because even if I'm talking to someone who owns a painting company and I sell on Amazon, there may and there has been gems that I learned that I can now carry on to my business. Top 3 vacation spots. Top 3 at the moment would be probably China, Vietnam, and the Philippines, all in Asia. I would have went to Vietnam because I was in Asia for a little over a month, but it was rainy season, and what I want to do in Vietnam, we're gonna take it's a 24-hour bike ride. Obviously, you don't do that straight, but it's from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh or Ho Chi Minh to Hanoi. And the reason we couldn't do that on rainy season is because you're literally on like these narrow roads with like big old cliffs. You're on the side of a mountain. So I was like, that's probably not safe to do during rainy season. It was raining pretty hard, but yeah, probably China, Philippines, Vietnam. I might knock off 2 of those this year, God willing. But it's like weird because like I have some of my top vacation spots, and then just because the way life works is we'll just go to different countries that aren't those spots. But next time I do Asia, it's gonna be like a couple month trip. Dang, bro, that's gonna be a hit on my pockets. It's like $20 a product. Ordering 100 is like $2K. What if the product doesn't work? Then you do everything in your power to make it work. How was your first 2 years selling on Amazon? I became financially, I wouldn't say financially free, but I became my own boss within a year of me selling on Amazon. I was doing over 5 figures a month in net profit. Within 2 years, I got upwards of 6 figures a month. It was life-changing. I just make 4. 4 what? I have no seller ratings. Does that matter? Not really. Hey, brother, I'm going to be honest with you. My mind is dumb after researching for a week for next launch. Any good product relating to home improvement? I'm not going to just hand out a product, Abdullah. I only do that for my mentorship students who do product selection. Have you ever been to Dubai? Dubai is one of the few, it's not a country. What do you call Dubai? What would you call Dubai? But Dubai is one of the few places I have zero interest in going to be honest with you. No, Nawaz, I do private label. I'm going to get to your question right now, Sheep. I'm sure the people of Dubai are great, but Dubai is, zero interest to me. My mom went to Dubai, and even like my mom and I kind of like this, like similar vibes when traveling, and even she wasn't a fan of Dubai. What if it doesn't work? Then you try again. Kind of like this. Like if you're at ground zero and you start a business and that product fails, then you're right back to where you started, and then you just try again. You take what you learned from that failure and you try again. I'm going to sleep. This vacation is taking a toll on me till next time, bro. Always good to see you, Sheep. Always, my brother. All righty. Shameless plug time. Hour of straight information and answering everybody's questions. So this is my shameless plug. If you guys want access to the Harvard of Amazon FBA private label education, go to the TikTok bio. Go check out the AMZ Masterclass site. You can click yes, I want to apply. You'll be able to see everything that's included in the AMZ Masterclass. And then, boom, you would click yes, I want to apply, go through the application process, and you'd be able to hop on a call with my guy, Adam. Why do people say private label success rate is only 5%? That's a load of bollocks, Nawaz. Let me guess. The people who say that do wholesale or arbitrage. Wonder why they say private label only has a 5% success rate. My opinion, and I think that the analytics would back my opinion, if you took 100 people who did wholesale, 100 people who did arbitrage, and 100 people who did private label, you will have very, 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 very similar success and failure rates for all 3 business models. So yeah, man, always vet the information that you hear, because it's not necessarily correct. But on that note, everybody, make sure you all go show some love to the last few videos. If you want to have me as your personal mentor, direct access to me for me to answer any questions that y'all have, be sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio. God bless you all, and I will see you soon.